What's up, guys? How's it going? It's Kyle Olson here. So today I wanted to go over the top 5 best places to potentially purchase an Airbnb in 2022. Now, it's important to remember there's a few things you need to keep in mind when looking to purchase an Airbnb. We're going to talk about rental demand, revenue growth, and investability. So rental demand basically is, are you going to invest in a place where there's going to be tourists year round, or are they coming there for ski trips, or are they coming there to go to a lake over summer, or are they just going there for local attractions and people are visiting your town or where you're thinking about investing year round? So revenue growth, are you going to invest in an area where year over year they've seen more people go to Airbnbs and the revenue growth has continued to increase year over year, with nightly rates going up and bookings being closer to that 75% range. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Investability. Is your house going to be less than what your revenue growth is? Is your mortgage, principal, interest, all your expenses going to be less than what you're bringing in as a business on Airbnb? So those are a couple things you need to think about. So real quick, we'll go over what AIRDNA thinks and what the investability score is and where they think we should invest. So number 1, Maui, Hawaii. Typical home value they're saying is $802,000, 73 occupancy rate, and an average daily rate of $375. Average revenue of $102,000. I don't know about you. I've been to Maui. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. People go there for a vacation. They're looking to spend a lot of money. To me, typical home value right now, I think in Maui, Hawaii is probably in that 1.1 million range. And if you're doing it right, your occupancy rate should be at least at 85%. And daily rate, I would think would be in the 400s just from what I've seen. So they're saying Maui, Hawaii on AIRDNA investor score is a 91%, revenue growth 90, rental demand 93, investability 90%. So in Maui, it's super hard to build. You can only build so much. There's only so much land. So to me, it's a great place to invest. You can't build and there's only so much space. So to me, the desirability to purchase a home will always be there. It's a beautiful place and people with money will always go there. So number 2, Kenai Peninsula in Alaska, typical home value, $237,000, occupancy 67%, average daily rate $262, and average revenue $44K. So it's also important to be super dialed in what and where you want to invest in Airbnb. If you want to go for the national parks, people have always gone there and always will. There's always a tourist attraction there. If you live in a city, maybe like Chicago, people will go there for business. It's something to keep in mind, but you definitely want to invest where you know people are going to have to go and will always go. So a little bit about the Kenai Peninsula. It offers wilderness seekers the true awe and beauty of the Alaskan experience with no shortage of access to national parks. So they got national parks there. That's why people are going there. Wildlife viewing, and obviously you can fish, and the great outdoors are just amazing there. They're saying overall 89% on AIRDNA investor score, revenue growth 94, rental demand 89, investability 87%. Number 3, Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm sure you've heard of Chattanooga. Typical home value they're saying is $258,000, occupancy rate 70%, average daily rate $180, average revenue $47,000 per year. So Chattanooga, set in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains along the Tennessee River. Chattanooga, Tennessee provides a strong investment opportunity with Zillow forecasting home values to increase 17% in 2022. Likely being supported by increased regional travel, Chattanooga scores an exceptional 98 points in rental demand, the second strongest score on our list, with an average occupancy level of over 70% for the year. The biggest attractions to the area is the Lookout Mountain Incline Railway, which brings passengers to historic sites and trails with stunning views. So Chattanooga gets an 88% on AIRDNA investor score, 78 revenue growth, 98 rental demand, investability 88. Number 4 is Gulfport, Mississippi. Typical home value, $155,000, occupancy rate at 70%, average daily rate they're saying is $196 per day, average revenue at $44,000. Located on the Gulf of Mexico, tourists are drawn to Gulfport to pay a visit to Mississippi's coastal casinos and pristine white sand beaches. Those looking for a coastal area with high rental income have a new city to keep tabs on. With high revenue potential relative to a low average home value of $155,000, Gulfport earns a hefty overall investability score of 95%. While areas within the Gulfport region score high in investability, Long Beach and Ocean Springs are two standouts within this market, offering the highest short-term rental occupancy over the past year at over 68%. Now that's something we should talk about real quick. Even though AIRDNA suggests these places for us to potentially invest in, we still need to do our homework and make sure that we're not buying in places where HOAs prohibit short-term rentals or areas where short-term rentals are typically done or frowned upon, because the last thing you want to do is purchase a house sight unseen, or even if you go there and not know the rules and regulations. If you're using a realtor, which I'm sure you will be when purchasing your Airbnb, you still need to do your own homework and make sure that your realtor is familiar with short-term rentals, because short-term rentals are changing month by month in different places. Regulations are getting stricter in some areas, so it's always important to make sure that you're keeping an eye on that. So back to Gulfport, they're saying that it's at 88% on AIRDNA investor score, revenue growth 81%, rental demand 80, overall investability 95. I think that's a great place. If home values are that cheap and rental demand's that high, it could be set up for good cash flow. So number 5, Slidell, Louisiana. So looking for an investor, property near New Orleans, touted as one of the easiest places to access in Louisiana. Slidell is conveniently located only 40 minutes from New Orleans French Quarter, as well as the casinos and beaches of the Mississippi Gulf Coast. In this position, Slidell should reap the benefits of increased regional travel demand, scoring 100 in both our revenue growth and investability metrics. They're saying that it's 85 AIRDNA investor score, 100 on revenue growth, 41 in rental demand, and 100 in investability. So again, those are the top 5 places AIRDNA is suggesting that we potentially invested in 2022. And for number 6, the last one, Crystal River, Florida, just a little extra for you guys. Typical home value, $249,000, occupancy rate 69%, average daily rate $221, average revenue $51,000. AIRDNA score, investor score is 84. 70% revenue growth, 95 rental demand, 85 investability. Sometimes referred to as the manatee capital of the world, Crystal River lies less than 2 hours from Orlando on the western Florida coast. So to me, I know a lot of people are moving to Orlando. A lot of people are moving to Florida. So Florida is not a bad idea. If you've watched my past videos, you know that I've continued to try to purchase a house in Deerfield Beach, Florida. The rental demand there is crazy and prices continue to go up, and the competition to purchase there is hefty. But I know that Florida is desirable and their beaches are beautiful and people will always want to go there from the Midwest. So I'm going to continue to look there. But I want you to keep in mind that even though AIRDNA suggests these places, we still need to do our homework. But being in Airbnb business can be super lucrative and super fun. If you have an Airbnb already, leave a comment below. Let me know where it's at and what your struggles have been and if it's paid off for you, if you enjoy it. If you haven't gotten an Airbnb yet, comment down below and let me know where you want to invest and we can talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.